Wedding filmmaking is a pretty AI-proof job because weddings are fundamentally live events that need to be documented by a human videographer and then edited into a compelling story that people will actually want to watch. But just because AI cannot replace wedding videography, that may lead you to think that there's no room for AI to be used in any part of the wedding filmmaking creative process. But in my opinion, AI does have its place and can be used to help videographers work significantly faster. And in this video, sponsored by Higgsfield, I want to share with you some new ways that videographers can use AI in wedding filmmaking that feel less, let's say, controversial. Now, with a wedding being comprised of real people and real moments and real emotions, which are so great to film, at the same time, there are going to be moments that occur in weddings, which I'm sure you identify with as a filmmaker, where the footage that you are capturing isn't perfect for reasons outside of your control. You can get a great angle of the couple's first dance, and the green exit signs in the background of the venue are super distracting. Or you can be editing an establishing shot from the wedding video, and a truck drives right in front of the venue sign, and you can't go back and refilm it. What do you do as a videographer? You live with it. But if you were a photographer, would you also live with it? Or would you make some changes? Because I know a lot of wedding photographers, and a lot of them have zero issues when it comes to using the healing brush or the clone tool or even generative fill in Photoshop to remove those exit signs, because it will make their photo better and not detract from the moment that was captured. They will also delete that car from the foreground of their shot of the venue sign too without worrying about it, because they know how the shot is supposed to look if that car isn't there. So I realize that this is nuanced, and there's a lot of people angry about generative AI right now, which is completely justified in my opinion. But at the same time, what if you just used AI to enhance the footage you've already filmed to make it the ideal version of what you were filming in the same way that a photographer would use Photoshop? That's where I can see more people being on board with it. And that's what we're going to talk about in this video, because this is some truly mind-blowing stuff that you can do with Higgsfield without feeling slimy about it in the process. Up first, remember that truck that I was talking about earlier that blocked the shot of the wedding venue? Well, if you have no way of reshooting this moment, After Effects in 2019 added a feature called content-aware fill that would let you mask over objects and attempt to use nearby pixels to fill it in, but it never really worked super well. You could also try to rotoscope out the truck manually and spend a ton of time trying to recreate the empty road, which is definitely not the easiest thing to do with a moving gimbal shot. Or you could go up to Edit Video in Higgsfield. For model, select Kling 3.0 Omni Edit. Upload your video clip of the wedding venue. Tell it to remove the truck from the video. Wait a bit, and suddenly you have a video clip that is absolutely clean with no truck or shadow to be seen, just the wedding venue sign. Isn't that crazy? Or maybe you're filming video clips of the city of Dublin in Ireland, and you want to use one clip as an establishing shot for your film, but you don't like how the person riding the bicycle up the street dominates the frame. No sweat. Upload the same clip to Higgsfield, tell it to remove the bicyclist from the video, hit generate, boom. Just like that, they are gone. But all of the rest of the people are still there. Heck, want to remove everyone though? Just tell it, remove people from the video. Hit generate. Suddenly, this video is looking a lot less like a wedding and more like a zombie apocalypse film. Now, here's something that may bother a lot of wedding videographers. Most venues have these bright green exit signs, which are great for safety, but super distracting in the wedding video. I've known plenty of photographers that remove these signs with Photoshop to help make sure the viewer's eyes are drawn toward the main subjects of the photo, the couple. For video, that's a lot more difficult. Unless you upload the video clip to Higgsfield, tell it to remove the green exit signs from the background, hit generate, and just like that, they are gone. But wait a second, there's still these green reflections on the floor. That's fine, just tell it to also remove the green floor reflections too. Hit generate again. They are now gone from the shot. This is crazy, right? And I think that we as videographers have to be extremely careful with it, because you want to show a wedding as it happened, right? But I want you to ask yourself, if this was a photo instead of a video, would you feel comfortable removing the exit signs? And I'm especially interested if you're watching this and you're a wedding photographer and what your take on it would be. Regardless, I think that there's a really fine line here to walk of enhancing a film, but not too much. In short, you're going to want to be very cautious when using tools like this. Now, Up until this point, we've been talking about using AI to enhance the videos that you've already filmed and remove distractions and things that you don't want to have in the video. But I can think of one scenario where using a more generative form of AI could be useful, and that is in the area of pre-visualization and pitching concepts to wedding clients to get them on board with the type of video that you want to create. I will often go out and film the couple the day before or after the wedding to get some beautiful portraits of them together out in nature. And that sometimes requires us to be up with them at 4:30 or 5 a.m. to capture the sunrise. And sometimes, or really a lot of the time, couples can be a bit skeptical of this. They don't always want to wake up that early. So by being able to show them concepts of the shots that you want to get visually and not just tell them, trust me, please, it's going to be worth it, can be really helpful and convince them to wake up. Now, ideally, you would be able to go out even earlier and film example shots of where you want to film to then be able to show these shots to the couple. I've done location scouts like this before, where I went out and pre-filmed the location to create a pitch deck of sorts to show them why these would be such great spots to take them out to film at. I had a wedding in California where I did this with great success, where I was able to show the couple how amazing the mountaintop where I wanted to position them looked and how the light would shine through the trees and make them look fantastic. But on the opposite side of things, I've also had negatives to this strategy where I was filming a wedding in Scotland, and when I went out to film locations to pitch to the couple early, I was unfortunately left to the whims of the weather. I found multiple locations that I knew would look amazing, but at the same time, the weather did not cooperate, and the forest that I knew would look gorgeous with sunlight filtering through the trees looked haunted and terrifying, thanks to a monsoon level of wind and rain, and the gorgeous mountain valleys that I hoped to film while they were not rainy were completely covered in fog, so you could only see about 50 feet in front of you. Not exactly picturesque, right? This sucked, and while I did manage to convince the couple to go out with us to these locations without having footage to show them, and these locations ended up looking exactly as I hoped they would, incredible, I can very easily imagine a couple that would not be okay with blindly riding an hour or two in a car and who would want to see how a location looks before you take them there because their time is valuable, which is completely understandable. So that leads us into talking about one area of AI photo and video generation, which I think does have potential to be useful for wedding filmmakers, and that is using it for visualization and concept art that you can use to show your couple what they can expect when you take them out to film portraits. To be clear, this is still not typing text and generating a video from nothing. You still need reference images that you've taken yourself that you can pull from to do this, because if you're just telling AI to generate a sunny forest, that's not going to look like what you want. You ideally need to go there early, and if the lighting and weather aren't ideal, you can modify them using the AI to better match how the weather will hopefully look whenever you take the couple out to film them in those locations. So back to Higgsfield and its video editing. I uploaded the video clips of the forest that I filmed in the terrible storm and told it to make the weather sunny with light rays shining through the trees. And then I had a new video clip that was much closer to the mood and feeling that I wanted to be able to show the couple. And whenever we got out to that forest, the footage looked pretty close to the simulated video, which was awesome. What about the foggy valley with horrible visibility? I uploaded that clip, told it to make the weather sunny and remove the fog and show rolling hills and mountains in the distance. Higgsfield removed the fog, made it sunny, added mountains in the background, and this ended up being very similar to how it actually looked whenever I took the couple out for portraits. Now, if you want to get more advanced in your pitching of shot concepts and locations to your couples, that is where Higgsfield's Cinema Studio 2.0 comes in, because this is definitely the most filmmaker-friendly AI video tool that I have ever seen that gives you a ton of control over things like a virtual camera and lenses to really dial in the look that you're going for that you could then use to pitch your concept to a wedding couple. Let's say you have an idea for the first look for your couple with a location picked out and shots planned, but you still need to sell them on the concept. This first look is going to be out in the high desert along a cliffside, and it's going to look so cool. Well, to pre-visualize this, you can go to Higgsfield, Video, Cinema Studio Video, and first you're going to want to add your characters. This can be photos of the couple or stand-in images. It's not a big deal. In this case, I have photos from my own wedding. Let's start with describing the scene. Where is it happening? Well, let's say you went out and scouted this cliffside location ahead of time, and you have some photos that you took of how it looks, so you're also going to want to add that as an image. Then you're going to want to go back over to the image generator because you're first going to want to create an image before you turn it into a video. Write a prompt for the scene. In this case, it's a first look out in the desert, so you'll tell the AI that. Notice that you can tag your different characters by pressing the @ sign and then selecting them. You then have a ton of interesting filmmaking forward controls here, where you can choose the camera and lens. So for this, let's choose full frame cinema digital, warm cinema prime, and for a focal length, we'll choose 14 millimeters and aperture f4 works great. You can then choose the aspect ratio and resolution. And if you want to generate multiple stills in a grid, let's choose 4x4. And then we're going to go over here and click generate. You now get a lot of images to choose from for your concept. And you could stop right here, save these stills, and then present them to the couple to get them on board with filming them at this location. But if you want to get even more advanced, Cinema Studio can easily do that. So you're going to want to select the image that you want and go down here and click animate. And this will then bring you to the video version of Cinema Studio, which gives you a lot more controls. And notice that the starting frame of this video is now the concept image that you generated. Let's start with movement. What kind of shot do you want this to be? Do you want it to follow the couple? Do you want it to be handheld? Is it a drone shot? Is it going to orbit around? You can also choose to speed ramp the video if you want. You can change the length and the aspect ratio, the resolution if you want sound or not. And then notice this general button down here. Click it and you can change the type of video. For a wedding, you may want to try this intimate option and see how it looks. Let's then type our prompt here. We're gonna have the groom facing away from the bride as she walks slowly towards him, just like a first look. And then notice down here, you have the option to choose either single shot, or you can click this button and change it to multi-shot auto if you want multiple clips of this first look to be generated with different angles. Or even better, you can choose multi-shot manual and have even more control, choosing exactly how you want each scene to look. You could start with a jib shot and then go handheld. There's a ton of control here. Now let's click generate. And just like that, you now have a shot concept with multiple shots and angles featuring your couple and the wedding location that you can now use to pitch your ideas to your couples and get them on board with filming them in various locations. As I hope I've been able to show you in this video, there are ways that we can use AI as video editors and filmmakers that don't replace us, but can instead be used to dramatically improve the quality of videos that we're making easier than ever before. As always, I'd love to hear in the comments what you think about this. I'll also link to Higgsfield down in the video description if you want to check them out, and I'll also link to my edit videos like a pro guide. This guide is going to show you the biggest rules that I follow as a video editor to edit faster and better. You can download this guide completely for free at the link in the video description. Thanks so much for watching and have a great day.